We have a very special guest. She's an educator. She is like a master's degree student. She's an influencer, I would say.
Yeah.
She's interested in cultures. She makes fun videos. I really like them.
Thank you.
So we have Teeba Salih.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so glad to be hosted by my favorite radio station. I've been listening for you
It's a pleasure.
for years. So yeah, thanks for the host.
Sure, it's a pleasure. So here's the thing. You are interested in the English language and cultures.
Yeah.
So how do you manage to combine these two things in your content on Instagram?
Well, I feel like whenever someone asks me like, how did you get your English, I say that like, guys, I was just like someone who was born with it. So I don't know how to explain like how did
That's
I get it?
interesting.
Yeah, like
Okay.
how did I get it? I watched TV series like movies. I hear so radio stations just like the radio station that I'm being hosted by right now. So what my message actually beyond my content was, or let's say started from, my country actually is filled with that civilization and cultures. We have our own print that cannot be copied.
Right.
So whenever you go there, here and there, you can see so many beautiful status that you'd like to tell the world about. So today, the social media platforms has allowed each citizen to express his love to his country within his own style or way.
Right.
So that's how the spark started. And within the culture matter, I really, really respect those countries that hold on their cultures and be proud of it. They use the modernity, they use their, let's say, all the globalization, they employ it within, they really seize that modernity to benefit themselves with, but at the same time they still respect their own traditions, their own culture within their arts, within their agriculture design they use within the gardens, even their
Right.
their arts, their custom, everything. So let's take Japan for example. They still sit on the floor and eat with the chopsticks, though we all believe that Japan is another planet. So how respectful is that? I really love people who respect their belongings and roots. And that's why I want to say that Iraqi people still believe that they have their own culture and we are here as young. And I guess that's our role.
So-
The youth spirit must
I hate to
play its
interrupt,
role.
but are you saying
Yeah.
that, modern life has nothing to do with culture? So we should maintain
Yeah.
our culture and
Yeah.
traditions, but we can keep up with modern life.
No,
At
we
the same
can.
time.
We can.
Mm-hmm.
Then how could look? Taking for example the last destination that I've been at, which is Oman. So many people criticize me like, why did you choose Oman? For God's sake, it has nothing interesting. Usually people when they travel, they feel like they should get let's say a landmark, a tourist landmark to take selfie with. I'm not that person. I'm the person that gets to know people, that gets to know the country's culture.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm beyond. I'm not only beyond, being on board. Like, no, I want to discover people, countries. Whenever you discover another destination, you discover something within yourself as well.
I
So
see.
yeah, that's why I love knowing others' cultures. It always adds something. It always fills your soul with things that you cannot, you unconsciously you be filled with them.
I see.
So
And
yeah, that's why I'm really a culture person. I'm really loving my country's culture. I do appreciate it. I'm so proud of being Iraqi, and my belongings. I'm really feel like that like any let's say faithful citizen. I'm really proud of being Iraqi.
a proud Iraqi.
Yeah.
Iraqi.
Iraqi. Yeah.
So, by looking at your Instagram account, we can see that you have been to many countries.
Yeah.
So which do you recommend? Which one can we visit and have fun, taste their food, visit their tourist attractions and all? Which
Well-
one do you recommend?
Well, such a question, I guess, wouldn't be asked to someone who's has the traveler spirit, because if you notice, the user of my Instagram is Teeba_T4. T4 actually could be explained to Teeba, a teacher, translator, and traveler. The traveler soul actually has that touch which is loving each destination that he goes to. I cannot say that this one is better than this one because each destination has taught me a lesson, has, spot the light inside Teeba's personality
I see.
within something. So I totally, recommend the whole countries around the
And
whole world.
and by the way, going back to this, like to the beginning of this interview,
Yeah.
you were like, when it comes to like learning English,
Yeah.
I just don't know how I've done it. So,
It's
but
just as the way.
okay, but of course, like you have a favorite way of learning English. So, do you have like a way that you like and you can share with us maybe?
Well, look, since we are living in a country that has no native speakers for English, and our first language is Arabic, our second language is the minority language, which is the Kurdish, those languages, yeah, as you know. Actually, even when you travel, you'll use the lingua franca language. You're not going to use the English language immediately as soon as you get to the airport. You'll find the people there, like those who has so many, let's say, Asian people live there, and Arabian and foreign people as well. At the same country, they will invent a new country which we call the lingua franca. That's what I mean by a lingua franca. Yeah. So you'll be shocked by using this lingua franca language instead of using your English. So come on, goddamn, where am I going to use my language? It's like. Actually, the better way that I found is that, creating your own community, friends, colleagues, you
That you can practice with maybe?
Yeah, that's the only way. Because as much as you're exposed, you're going to gain much information, but still you're not going to practice it unless you face people and talk to them just as the way I'm doing.
By the way,
now.
you sound like someone who's doing like a master's degree in linguistics.
No, it's English teaching methods.
I see.
Methodologies.
That's
yeah.
cool. That's cool. So speaking of that,
Yeah.
is it challenging? And maybe you can share with us some details.
Well, let me tell you something. Here, my Aquarius personality is going to give you the answer. Because, regular people would say, like, I've been graduated, for me, sharing my own experience, I've been graduated in 2014. So, and then I traveled abroad for like a year. I went back, I worked as a translator for like another year, and then I got appointed as a teacher. I served at the countryside, at the rural areas, like for 8 or 7 years about.
I see.
So it was, like, I know how to teach right now, but I forget how to study, So this thing can be a challenge, but not for طيبة. That wasn't a challenge for me. Another regular answer can be like, I chose a university that lies away from a Baghdad province, which is the place that is where my occupation is. So that also wasn't a challenge for me. All those things, let's say strong, independent women can manage. My real challenge was about the spirit of the higher education approach in general. Let's say, let me explain that. Like, how can the researcher be a real researcher without being creative? Now, going back to Bloom's taxonomy that talks about the cognitive levels, that deals with, a hierarchical order of the cognitive level, starting with remember, which is the lower cognitive level of each individual, and raising till we reach the climate or to the top, which is the how to be creative. So I believe that a real researcher should read the text, absorb it, understand it, and analyze it and evaluate it, and then create something and come up with something new. Then how can I come up with something new when so many tutors or instructors actually dealing with their students as if they have to be a robot? I'm not a robot, I'm a researcher. So here I really chose your platform to express my opinion about this challenge, which really can be overcome with the support of, the ministry itself. Look, I'm a researcher. I want to study the thing and express my own, the researcher has his own fingerprint that cannot be
So are
copied.
you talking as Teeba being like a teacher or
I'm
a
being
researcher?
I'm right now, I'm MA holder, which means I'm student and I'm a researcher.
Okay.
I'm still in you. I'm on the, let's say I'm getting into the first step of the stairs of today I'm MA holder. Tomorrow I want to be a PhD. But I'm talking about the approach itself. Now, if we go back to the instructor and ask him, why would you behave like giving us questions, like ask us to copy the text from the resource, which is, let's say, about a 300 paper or 600, or maybe the resources would be open. And then they will ask you or oblige you to copy specific text and paste it within your own paper, within your examination paper. How could that be? Well, if I'm a creative person, I wouldn't agree to be to let my brain, inside a jail and say, okay, I'm free, I'm a researcher, and I can. Now look at the first countries, the first world countries. Look how they deal with their researchers, and I really believe that ministry nowadays has that youth spirit administration, that I really believe they have the revolution against all the traditional methods of testing the researchers with. And by the way, not all instructors are the same. I do not let's say accuse or let's say blame any specific instructor. I'm just telling that this problem is there, and really there are so many instructors that dealing with the researchers as if they are robots. They do not appreciate their minds, they do not set their minds free, and they want them to come up with something new. How can I cannot come up with something new when I'm dealing with, like, you broke my wings and asked me to fly. How could that be?
That's right. No.
Yeah. So that was really a challenge. And if you allow me,
Sure.
I believe that the ministry can really overcome this challenge within their own support and their wise, administration. I believe that they can do this. They can help up their own researchers because, the ministry nowadays is trying to achieve all the goals of the sustainable development. And I guess this one is one of them, is that going beyond the information, not beyond the information itself,
Right.
but beyond its use.
And we have like many young teachers that are really eager,
Yeah.
to come up with like new ways of teaching. They are creative. They are, they have energy.
Yeah.
So I think we can do great stuff with them. And by the way,
Yeah.
apart from teaching and all,
Yeah.
I checked your Instagram account and I was like, okay, now is that a horse?
Yeah.
And then I saw like another picture with another horse, and then like a reel.
Yeah.
So apparently you are interested in horseback riding.
Yeah. Check out my ring. It's like, it's also
God,
has that.
do you see that?
You should get the zoom in
It's
here.
a horse. That's awesome. So,
Oh, well, yeah.
So can you tell us about like this hobby and why are you into it?
Well, let me tell you something. There is so beautiful code that says that horse lend us the wing that we lack. The wings, I really, when I ride a horse, I feel like I'm flying.
That's
and
sweet.
It's nothing more, it's cool to be near an animal that is eager, that is alert,
All this
that
power,
is playful
right?
and powerful. Yeah, it feels like it's near to your personality. By the way, horses are really, that cozy and tender. It has that cozy and tender.
Yeah. And by the way,
I feel
where do you do it? I mean, is there like a specific place here, or do
well,
you do
yeah,
it
like,
outside the country?
Well, I worked really hard to find like a suitable place to get, my like. Hereby, I want to really advise all the people to follow their passion. No matter how your age is, it's never too late to know where your passion is.
Right.
So, years ago, that urban reconstruction and the war recovery process that Iraq is being through has stopped such activities from being there on the floor. But, nowadays, those things are, let's say Iraq is going back to life, and he has offered so many sports. By the way, riding a horse is really expensive kind of.
I know,
It's one of the
right?
most expensive
Yeah.
sports around the whole world. So I'm really enjoying that sport, and I'm being schooled now at one of the schools. I don't want to mention the school's name, but in general, because now it's offered. It's offered.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Now-
offered, and I want to say more than something, let's say, extra about this thing. Like, many Eastern women would believe that it's not something appropriate within a woman who belongs to an Eastern society to get into a horseback. It's not something polite. It's not, they may drive us to another, let's say, threads and sideways. I really believe that with our ancient Eastern societies, women were riding a horse, and at that time when there was no transportations and modernity and that stuff,
They had to use horses.
yeah, women rode horses. So nowadays you can ride a horse as a hobby, as a kind of sport. I'm not an official let's say equestrian, but I'm also taking it as a hobby. My brother always make fun of me, like, Taiba, why would you ride one horse? Come check my own car's engine. It's like 600 horsepower. Like,
Yeah.
you can ride my car instead of riding one horse. So yeah, but it's my passion. I really want to thank my family for respecting my passion. They really, being patient with, like, oh, let's check out what she's coming up with. Now it's horse riding.
It's cool, actually.
It's too cool.
It's cool. It
Feels
feels
like
good.
you own the world when you're on a horseback.
That's
Yeah.
sweet. That's
No,
sweet. And
it's
by
too
the way,
sweet.
now apart from horses,
Yeah.
I mean, like we have
It's
delved
just
into
like,
different
we started
topics.
from a spot and we are getting part and part and part till I leave home.
So, I have seen your Instagram reels. They're amazing, to be honest.
Thanks,
I mean,
thanks.
the
I really appreciate your
the
opinion.
editing, the like everything, the colors, the lighting and all. So, do you make them by yourself? Because I know like making videos is time consuming.
Yeah, especially for the Emmy holder. Actually, first I took the consultation of so many photographers because I don't know how, but I'm being surrounded by so many photographers. Just even before I joined the social media world. So first I took their consultation and help only at the beginning, and then I started. I find it like it's like it took me a lot of cost and effort and. I felt like, why do I use my own tools, simple tools? Like I use my phone, and there are so many,
Right.
nowadays we have our phones filled with so many applications that can, monitor your own video with. So, the late ones, I started to do them by myself,
That's awesome.
which with zero cost. I use only my brain.
That's
no more,
awesome.
no less.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I
Actually,
employed the techniques and the tools, the equipments, my own simple equipments.
I remember the Go
Go
Bananas
Bananas
video.
was by the using phone.
It was
At
cool.
Oman, yeah.
It was cool.
At beach souk. There was,
That's nice.
half a beach souk, yeah.
Okay. Is this
Go
called?
Bananas. It's
Okay.
called half, imagine.
Okay. Now, one last thing.
Yeah,
We
why
would
not?
like you to give us some advice on how to improve our English. I mean, I'm sure that our listeners are really like interested in knowing like your opinion when it comes to like improving
Yeah.
our language skills. So, what do you have to share with us?
Well, sometimes even at home, I use my English. Whether they are listening or not, whether they
talk to
care or
yourself.
not. Well, I even sometimes try to sing the songs that I'm listening to in order to keep that the accent. Try to how to the pronunciation would be like. Besides listening to the song itself, if I didn't understand it well, I can check the lyrics. I want to tell them that please speak. Even if you feel, you break all the barriers, do not be shy. Being shy is the only one reason that can, stand against your learning process. Even my students at the school, within that, little community, I always ask them, please share, please participate, say something, even if it's wrong. I'm not going to kill you.
Talk.
I'm not going to stab you in your heart with a knife. It's just a mistake that can be corrected. So whenever you express yourself, it means that you are communicating. And since you are communicating, it means that you got into the English itself. So it's all about, especially the late, let's say, communicative approach that focuses on the competence and performance. Even if you don't have the competence, try to perform the language. Just like Abu Escape. Have you ever learned about this man? He has the performance, but he still is not competent enough.
He has the music.
He has the music. He has the tone. He know how to. Yeah, he's not shy. I really, respect him, though he has no competence. But at least he expressed himself. So I really ask people always to expose themselves to the language as much as they can, because as much as you are exposed. Now, when you are exposed to the sea, you're going to be relieved. When you are exposed to the sun, you're going to get a vitamin. When you have, your own daily lifestyle, include learning English with, if you are serious, if they are serious about the learning process.
That's cool.
Yeah, so be exposed to the language as much as you can, hear songs, watch series, try to get into the mood, feel like you're going to know another culture, because whenever you listen to songs, you're going to figure out what this culture is about, so you're going to enrich yourself, and that's it.
That's awesome. Now, here's the thing. It's our tradition here to ask the guest for a song before they leave us.
Yeah.
So what do you have on your mind?
Well, it's a Gada song, which is Paint the Town Red. It's my favorite nowadays.
Oh, you got it.
And Plan B is J-Lo, so you can choose whenever you want.
That's
Ain't
awesome.
it funny? Yeah.
Well,
the DJ should choose his own favorite one. Paint the Town
Paint the
Red,
Town
yeah.
Red. I knew it, actually.
I knew it, yeah.
Well, Teeba Salih, thank you so much for coming here
Most
and
welcome.
doing this interview with us. I mean,
Most
we
welcome.
learned a lot. and we appreciate you.
Thanks. I really appreciate becoming here as a guest as well. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.